What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on a clip that came across my timeline. And it was the clip where LeBron James, I think this was like right after LeBron James won that championship in 2016. This wasn't with the Lakers, but this was with Cleveland. And I still cringe when I see this clip of LeBron James, and I'm not gonna show the video, but even you can see his posture, like he don't really look confident. LeBron James really don't look confident, in my opinion, when he is announcing that he felt like he was the GOAT. Even the guys in the room, like in this video clip, everybody just looked like they didn't confirm what he was saying. Like, like when you're talking to people and you say something that everybody feels strongly about it, you get some nodding of the head. You get people, be in agreements. You get some, people just agree with you. But when he proclaimed himself the GOAT, he didn't get that. From the room kind of got silent. Right? Nobody had anything to add to what he was saying to kind of confirm or validate. He didn't get that, right? So I'm going to play the audio of what LeBron James said. I'm going to replay that, and then I'm going to play on the back of that clip Michael Jordan, what he said about it, and how Michael Jordan feels like it's disrespectful because you didn't have and he feels like he didn't have the opportunity to play against all the other greats, some of the other greats in the league. So it made Michael Jordan feel uncomfortable to really consider himself the GOAT when he didn't get to play against a lot of the other greats in the league, or some of the other greats in the league. But LeBron James, he don't even care. He just totally disregard like what people before him have done. He also disregard the fact that he never got the opportunity to play against any of the greats in the league. To him, that don't even weigh into his factoring of him to go. That's the fact that what he based it on is the fact that Cleveland never had a championship, for over 50 years until he won it, and that's all that matters, right? And so yeah, let me play this audio of LeBron James and then follow up with Michael Jordan.
Notice the difference between the two. A real GOAT doesn't and apos, he need to proclaim himself.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
For so many reasons.
I was super, super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that the first wave of emotion was when everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years. Everything in sports was going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
I don't want it in a sense because I think it disrespects Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, all the guys that prior to me, I never had a chance to play against. What everybody's saying I am, I never had the chance to compete against other legends that was prior to me. When I hear it, I cringe a little bit because, it's a little bit embarrassing because no one knows, I never had the chance once again to play against those guys.
And it's just bad.
So again, right? Yeah, y'all need to really look up that clip when LeBron James was on. I don't know whose show he was on, but he got absolutely no validation from anybody in that room when he said that he was a GOAT, number one. Even his guy, Rich Paul, just sat there kind of stone-faced. Now, Rich Paul has come out and said that he thought, LeBron was the GOAT. But he didn't really feel comfortable either with that statement. LeBron, proclaiming himself the GOAT. And the reasons LeBron James gave for being the GOAT, like he, because of what he did in Cleveland. Cleveland having won a championship in over 50 years. And so all that means is that Cleveland had a long drought. That's all that means. But that don't make whatever, that don't make LeBron James accomplishments any better than anybody else's accomplishments. It just points out that Cleveland had a long drought. They didn't have enough talent over the years for them to win a championship. And so, LeBron James comes along 50 years later and he wins one. But then Michael Jordan says that he felt like it's disrespectful, right? Because you don't take into account the different eras of basketball, the Wilt Chamberlains, the Jerry West, and those guys like that. You just exclude those guys and you whitewash over all of those greats, over their accomplishments and what they did in the league and how good they were when they played, or how great they were when they played. And you don't even pay those guys no mind, right? And I think that if LeBron James, even if he knew the history of the league, so all right, this what I think. Either he don't know the history of the league, which is not good, or he just totally disrespecting the history of the league. Because if you know the history of the league, if you study the game and you know the history, then you probably would. I can't imagine you being so dismissive of Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, what's the guy name? All the great guys who came before him. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Oscar Robertson. You can't whitewash and dismiss all of them just because Cleveland haven't had a championship in 50 years. It just don't make sense like that. So that's disrespectful in and of itself. And so it's disrespectful that he don't know the history, and it's also disrespectful that he don't really he wouldn't he just don't care about the history of the league. And that's why, in my opinion, that like Mike is the GOAT. Mike is the GOAT. And I think, in my opinion, at this point in time in LeBron James's career, ain't nothing he can do to catch Mike. Like, even if LeBron James this year with the Lakers, him and Luka was to win a championship, that would put him at 5. Then LeBron James announced, well, I'm coming back next year. And that would put him at, and he won another championship. And this just like, this is somebody just hypothetically. If for the next 2 years, LeBron James and Luka won 2 championships in a row, that would put LeBron James at 6. Which I don't think that's going to happen. But still, that still wouldn't put him ahead of Mike, because now LeBron James is going into like his 23rd or 24th year. 24 years, 6 championships. What's that? A championship every 4 years? When I think Mike, if you look at it, I think Mike won a championship like every 2.5 years. Like when you take into account, although he won 6 in a row, although Mike won 6, no, it wasn't 6 in a row. He did a three-peat, took some time off, and then won another three-peat, right? With that being said, still Mike won. That was like every 2.5 years. I think it comes out with Mike. When you take all the time that he was in the league and the amount of championships, and you divide that, that's like every 2.5 years, Mike won a championship. If LeBron James win a championship the next 2 years, that's still every 4 years for him. Like every 4 years, LeBron James was even able to win a championship. Not only was it every 4 years, but then it took him like 23 years to win, or 24 years to win those championships. So nothing LeBron James can do. Everybody who understands and knows the game of basketball know that LeBron James is basically stat padding. That's all he can do right now is just stat pad. And it's just sad, man, because I think the only person that LeBron James is fooling is LeBron James. His fans, I don't even believe like his fans really, really believe what LeBron James saying. They don't, they not buying into it. Even it's just so obvious that his fans, they don't have a leg to stand on. Every time his fans try to argue for him, they just get cut off at the legs because their arguments don't hold water. They don't stand up against a good solid argument. So that's my take on it, man. I just think it's so funny every time LeBron James tried to say he the GOAT. And only people is really buying into that is LeBron James. Not even his fans are buying into it. So with that being said, man, y'all make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next episode. Peace.